Hello, 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 hello. It is Tuesday. Welcome back. And hello. Namonai. Looking forward to today's live stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am too, because I'm very excited to work on the Wraith today. Welcome back, Hustler. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. For some reason, Discord said, well, hey, you know what? The post doesn't work. Do you want to retry? And then I press retry, and then it posted it twice. And now I can't delete the second one. So it's just stuck there, and I can't delete it. So now there are two of the same posts, and there's nothing I can do. Okay, welcome, 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 welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Tuesdays, and also, of course, yeah, your Tuesdays. There's nothing more I can come up with right now. Hope everything's been going well. Today, as you can see right there, we have two topics, as always. If you see this as a video later, you can always look into the description or the timeline to see the timestamps for the two topics, which are, first of all, of course, as always, the quick sketch, 30-minute quick sketch that we do in the beginning. This one today we have a quite a cute one that we're gonna do. Welcome back. Welcome back, James. Why did you change your name? So you had to wait 2 months to change your name, and then you changed it to Anxious Janky the Lurker. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you change it from? Why did you only change James to Janky? Was that what you wanted originally, or is that like a new, I don't know, inspiration that came to you? Yeah. Welcome back, James. Hope you have enjoyed your name change so far, and of course your day. Yeah, today we will continue working on the Reaper Wraith. Yesterday we started working on it, and we basically blocked out the model. We post the model. We created like a parent rig. Basically, if you parent object with pivot points in a certain way, you can basically create a rig without having to, I guess, create an actual rig. You can parent the individual pieces together, so you can pose them, which we've done. And then afterwards we started sculpting or adding some, you know, more, I guess, natural anatomy to the Wraith in scope mode, which we will continue today. We basically finished yesterday the body. We added the anatomy. So what we can do today is we can fine-tune everything. We can, you know, basically refine everything. So that'll be a lot of fun. It's an inside joke from a buddy that I taught how to use Blender. Okay. No matter how good he does, I always rate them janky. Okay. Now I get it. I see you've been posting a piece in the personal feedback session. We're gonna look at that wait, in 2 days. Yeah. And I think Thursday will be quite a dense stream actually. What we want to do there, at least for now, the plan is, of course, to, to go over all the pieces, which we have right now. I think we have 4 right now. Then we also want to, if there are any more, if there are any more questions that get posted, we're going to answer them. And then we also wanted to look at a piece that I guess quickly, showed in the last video that I uploaded yesterday, going over my sort of 2D to 3D sculpting process, or thought plus sculpting process. I showed in a quick sketch that I've done. I think it's also a two-hour quick sketch where where I sculpted like an environment, which we've done for a few streams, and I spent a little bit more time on it, added a little bit more detail, and somebody asked to get some more info, I guess, on how I did it. So we're gonna look at that on Thursday as well. Yeah, we're gonna do a little, I guess, analysis or explanation on how I did it, all the tools and the techniques that I've used. Yeah, so it'll be a good stream on Thursday. Not that all the other streams aren't great either, okay? But this one will be hopefully very valuable. Okay, let's go to which some might call Blender. So there you go, and you can see what we're gonna sculpt today. Look at him. Isn't he cute? Look into his eyes. So this is today's subject. I'm debating whether we should only do the head, or we should also do the body. The body is quite simple, so we might actually do all of it. I'm not gonna go with this one, or at least I'm not gonna use this mouth variant. We're gonna use this one just because it's easier. And then yeah, we're gonna go from there. We'll probably do the full body. Depends. Well, yeah, we'll see. Of course, the more we need to spend on the body, the less we can spend on anything else, detailing stuff and so on. But I think we have enough time to do this one. This one's quite simple. Welcome back, Ghost Arts. I hope you have enjoyed your last meal and also your Tuesday. Yeah, welcome back. Hope you had a great day. So yeah, we're gonna do the quick sketch first. Of course, if you want to join and do the quick sketch with me, you have maybe 30 seconds to prepare, and then we're gonna begin. If you want to know where I got it from, I think that's I think it's a mobile game. I don't really know. Big Farm Story. I just saw some concept art on Pinterest that I grabbed. I tried the technique from that you suggested, Hustler, looking through ArtStation, but I couldn't really find something good. I don't know why. I don't really like just grabbing a already finished 3D model and then making like, well, I had one that I liked, but I chose this one in the end. I don't really like just, for example, grabbing a 3D model and then just trying to recreate it. I don't know, that's kind of weird to me. So what I like to do, or it's very restricting. So what I like to do is I like to grab a concept art where you can kind of interpret it. You can interpret it a little bit more. You can be a little bit more creative with it, and that's why I like these concept arts, which are, well, this one isn't very rough, but usually the ones we have are quite rough. So we can at least, even if you turn it from 2D to 3D, you sometimes have to interpret some stuff or redesign some stuff, which I like a lot. So I like concept art more than like finished, fully fleshed out pieces. Sculpted a corgi a few days ago. Well, sounds like the perfect opportunity to do it again. Now that you already have practice, I think it's time for a second one. Welcome back, Ofti. I hope you had a great sculpt, a great corgi sculpt, and a great Tuesday as well. My phone is already telling me to hydrate, but now's not the time. Let's begin the sculpt. 30 minutes, of course. Where's my okay. Everything's ready. So I would say you literally try to copy the Reaper from FF into a 1:1 ratio. Yeah, but that's not a quick sketch. That's the difference. And also, I don't really yeah, that's not a quick sketch, basically. Sometimes I like to recreate something one by one. But I wouldn't really consider that one by one either, because I kind of switch between concept art and in-game model, and because we can't really see the full thing, I would consider it not recreation, but you could probably consider it that way if you want. Okay, let's begin the quick sketch. What do I need? Oh, my timer. Okay, 30-minute quick sketch. I hope you're ready. If not, it doesn't matter. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Okay. I also, well, you could say I didn't really recreate it one-to-one because it's, well, with a game model, I guess it's different, but you could say, well, we use a different pose, so it's not 100% recreation. You could say the character's recreated but not the pose, but, you know, who cares? I don't. If you do, then, hope that makes you happy. Okay, let's begin. So, yeah. As always, maybe you've seen the video from yesterday to today, the time-lapse released where I, you know, showing the process from the quick sketch that I talked about in the video on yesterday. I would argue copying a sculpt already created can teach you more since you try to copy it as best as possible, whereas with the concept you have a lot of liberty to add to it. Yeah, I think at the beginning especially it's good to copy rather than do it fully by yourself, because you can learn a lot quicker, I think, because you don't need to think about how you want to do it. You just or what you want to do, you just recreate what you, for example, you know, see in front of you. That's how I actually did drawings in the beginning. I just recreated or redrew old, or, you know, League of Legends splash arts. I'm still looking for these all my drawings. I don't know where they are. Welcome back, Space Cookie. I hope you enjoyed your Tuesday so far. Hopefully you will enjoy it even more now and in the future. Okay, look at him. He already has a mouth. Isn't he happy? Doesn't he look happy? Okay, so let's see. The head needs to be big. I wanna kind of adapt the shape first, the head shape. So we need to pull this down a little bit. Kind of adapt the sort of, what is it called? The trapezius shape. Wide at the bottom and small at the top. Make it nice and flat. Look at that. It kind of looks like a bear right now. Happy little bear. First drawings were just trying to copy the weapons of all the characters from LoL. Yeah. I tried to, I grabbed I put two, what is it, A4 papers together and tried to redraw, not trace, like put it on top, but actually redraw you know, the splash art. I think I did two. No, I did smaller ones and then I did like two big ones. You know, it was pretty helpful actually, just to kind of get used to, you know, how to draw in general. Who did the concept sketch? It looks really nice. Big Farm Story. I found it on Pinterest. You could probably just look up Big Farm Story concept art and then you should probably find it. It was just my recommended list, so I couldn't really tell you. I wasn't really looking for something specific. Okay. Also looks like his cheeks are kind of further back, so we're going to pull it back a little bit. There you go. Yeah, today we will maybe even finish the Wraith. With how far we got yesterday, we have a lot of time not only to refine the sculpt, but also to maybe add the cloak. Maybe even add the small holes in there. And then I plan to just retopologize it using my retopology plugin. And that should be it for the Wraith. And then all that is left is the base. The base is the only thing that I want to, you know, at least add a little bit of detail to. I'm not quite sure what I want to do there, but I don't want to spend too much time on it either. There you go. So maybe we'll finish the Wraith today, which would be pretty cool. I also finished the glaive. No, not the glaive. Why do I always say glaive? I finished the scythe today, so it's fully done. It's in his hand. You're gonna see it afterwards. And yeah, that's now done. The only thing that is not done yet for the character itself is he has like these arm knuckles, or arm, what are they called, like dust knuckle busters or whatever. And then he has a few details on his head, that I'll probably do tomorrow. And then he's fully done. All we need to do then is, you know, after we finish the Wraith and the base, we can then go into some colors, some texturing, which we're not going to spend too much time on, but, you know, at least a little bit to give it some distinct colors, maybe even some bump maps to finish the look. Look at him. Looks kind of concerned for some reason. I think his mouth is too long. Pull it up a little bit. There you go. Maybe it's too long. Actually, yeah, a little bit maybe. There you go. Your daughter says hi. Hi from me back. Hope your daughter has had a great day. I bet she had. Tell her from me, always make sure to eat your greens and a lot of milk so the bones get stronger. There you go. We have a sort of what is it called? A yogurt in Germany. I can't remember what they're called, but their slogan is basically like, eat them, they'll make your, like for kids then, like eat them, they'll make your bones harder or something. No, that's actually what they talk about in the advertisements all the time. Like, hey, I can't. Oh yeah, so there was like one where one child was like, hey, I can hit my, what was it? I can hit my my leg with my hand, and it'll sound like wood while they're sitting at a table, and then he does it. And it's like, oh, you can actually do it. And then it's just like him hitting the table from underneath. And then the slogan would be like, hey, you know, eating these makes your bones, you know, stronger or whatever. I can't remember what it is. Sounds way better in, you know, in German. But yeah, kind of reminded me of that. Getting lost in cute corgi art on Pinterest now. I mean, that's a trap. You know, I wouldn't be, I would fall into. That's a trap I wouldn't come out of for a long time. Or that's a trap I wouldn't mind falling into. That's what I wanted to say. There you go. Okay, let's add some shape here. So we have these, the art in itself is pretty stylized. As you can see, they have very, very distinct edges, which I tried to keep. Of course, it'll not be as refined as it is for the concept art, but that's not really the goal. The goal is to warm up, okay? So don't make it perfect. Or, you know, that's not the goal. To make it perfect. There you go. She thought you were on a TV show. Oh. Well, you could, I don't know, consider it a, you know, I'm the digital Bob Ross. Well, no, you could say what we do here is sort of like Bob Ross, I guess. That was actually one of my my inspirations when I started the channel, or you know, yeah, doing content. That was like one of my inspirations for what I wanted to do, or the way I wanted to do it, especially, which is why in the first few streams on here, or you know, in the first live streams, I kind of talked like I don't know, I tried to talk like Bob Ross, I guess, which I didn't really sound that great. So I quickly got off of that. Or I just couldn't, or I didn't really, you know, find my I guess my voice I wanted to speak in. So I just, you know, I just spoke, you know, however I thought would be good. Is the corgi a good model to start with Blender and modeling? in general, or what would you recommend for the beginning? Do you mean sculpting, or do you mean modeling in general, like 3D modeling? If you mean 3D modeling in general, I would say anything that is not organic would probably be the best choice to begin with, because that's easier to model. Everything that has a lot of sharp corners, like 90-degree angles, is probably the easiest stuff to model. So the first project that I've done is one of the first projects with, well, so what I've done is basically 90 minutes. Yeah, we can probably do the body. I started by, first of all, learning the basics. And then I continued by doing projects. The first project really that I've done without any... No, actually the second project that I've done without any sort of, I guess, on my own, let's say, was a kitchen. I saw, like, I wanted to do some ArcViz because it seemed pretty simple. I'm not saying that ArcViz is simple, but when I tried to do, you know, when I wanted to do a project, I thought doing like a kitchen that I thought looked pretty cool seemed pretty doable to me. So I started with like a kitchen and some furniture and some chairs, just to kind of, you know, learn more about the techniques to use and overall the workflow, which I think works pretty well. So if you just try to learn Blender, maybe you started, you know, I don't know, like maybe even a few weeks or a month ago, you know, maybe doing a kitchen or like an ArcViz project with a lot of sort of sharp angled or angular furniture is probably the best start, because you can not only learn how to model one model, you can also learn how to kind of put everything together, create like a small world, how to light, how to yeah, do all that in a pretty I guess simple setting, let's say. Okay, I don't know if that looks good at all. We're just gonna continue. Look at his feet. I think his feet need to be further forward. There you go. Oh, hello. Well, let's separate the feet. There you go. Not the feet. What are they called? The what are the feet of animals called again? Paws. Paws. There it is. Yeah, the paws. If it comes to sculpting, I would say yeah, I would say like still life would probably be pretty simple, like apples or bananas or pumpkins, stuff like that. Just to kind of learn how to use the different tools, how to you know, combine them, what tools are good for what, and just to kind of get the hang of the overall workflow. Okay, this looks like I don't know what, horrible, like a horrible abomination. So let's refine it a little bit. There you go. Small little paw right there. Oh no. You know, I hate it the most when I screw up like a cute concept art because I'm turning a cute little animal into something horrible, into something like abomination. Which is even sadder than if I just grab like a zombie and try to, you know, create that. Okay, I think it's also kind of too high at the back. There you go. Look at that butt. Enormous. It's actually not that high. Let's pull it down a little bit. There you go. Okay. Enough pulling and pushing. Let's go in here and add some more structure with the brush. Save. Yeah. Soon. I'll believe in Blender to not crash on me right now. It's happened once in 247 quick scopes, so I'll believe in it for now. Maybe that's too much trust that I put in it, but I'll try. Okay, it hasn't betrayed me too much yet. With chat distracting you so much, you gotta increase the counter from 30 minutes to 40. Well, as I said before, it's my decision whether or not I interact with it. Okay, so if I don't have time at the end, then it's all on me. Okay, you can type in as much as you want in chat. I need to decide how much I want to pay attention to it. Okay. And you do too, okay? If you want to participate in the quick sketch, you know, it should actually be like there should be the least amount of chatting while we do these quick sketches, because all of you should be joining me on this, okay? So, you know, there should be no chatting basically. And then after in the end, I should see at least, or, you know, at least a quick sketch from all of you, okay? Let's, you know, this is not a choice, okay? This is an obligation if you join the stream to join the quick sketch, okay? It is required. Have you not read the rules? With ZBrush, they call the stage of sculpting wandering through the valley of the suck. Yeah, exactly. The when I sculpt faces, I like to call this the handsome Squidward face. Not just face with a C, but face with a PHS. Because, you know, faces in the middle just look like handsome Squidward oftentimes. Look at him. I think his body is a little bit too small compared to his head. At least here, we need to add some shoulders. There you go. Yeah, that's better. Look at him. Now his width makes a little bit more sense. I don't have anything to say with this measure. Okay. If it happened once in 200 plus, that means that another crash is overdue. Well, don't jinx it, okay? I'm gonna save now. Now you scared me. Okay, there you go. Quick sketch day 247. Perfect. There are more quick... Actually, if you look up the concept arts from big farm stories, there are even more than just this corgi. So we might have some more we could do. We have, I think, a cat. We have another dog. We have so many more that we could do. I think a bird as well. So many choices. Subdivide cube 3 times. Call it the orb. Yeah, put that in personal feedback and let me give you some feedback on that. You could have changed the vertice count here to make it more optimal. I want to see some. I want to see you optimize the vertice count here on this one. I think you can make it not only increase the or support the underlying shapes a little bit better with good topology, but also highlight specific parts of it a little bit better. Do better next time, okay? See what happens, okay? If you post it. Okay. So let's go to the juiciest part of the entire sculpt. Let's see. He definitely has some big buns. Let's add some more here. He also has small little feet or paws. There you go. He needs some bigger legs or longer legs. So let's kind of do that right now. See his legs, how they just grow out of nothing. That's the magic of sculpting. Look at that. Okay. Still looks bad, but that's something we can fix, okay? So don't judge. At least not yet, okay? Maybe in 11 minutes you can judge, but not right now. I want to make a shitpost video for YouTube where I turn a sphere into a cube in sculpt mode. That actually takes like that takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brush strokes to do. If you want to do it the most efficient way. I looked it up, or I saw it when I looked up hard surface sculpting techniques. Thanks for the detailed answer. I'm still at the very beginning. I always wanted to learn 3D modeling, but Blender always looked so complicated to me. I always like to say, when I think about the question or the statement, Blender is hard to learn, I always get this idea in my mind, or this image in my mind, of somebody standing in front of like this huge wall that's just straight up. You can't really climb over it, or it seems very, very hard. And then you can see the camera kind of like going over the wall, and then you can see like the bright, I don't know, like super vibrant worlds of different universes and like everything you can basically imagine. because once you kind of get over the first hump of learning the basics of Blender, which can seem pretty intimidating, but once you kind of get into it, it's actually quite simple. You get just into this world of so many possibilities, like, oh my god, you can do so much. And then you just, you know, you get trapped in this world, you know, if you like it, until the end of time. I'm still trapped in it. I got out of it for like 3 months or so, but now I'm back in it. You could do this for next year's April's Fools. You mean sculpting a cube out of a sphere? Yeah, I mean, April's Fool. But when's April's Fools? Like in April, right? Well, makes sense. Somewhere there. Or until carpal tunnel. Yeah. That's why I like sculpting more too, because you don't have to click all the time, you just tab. That's why I like sculpting way more. Okay. Oh. There you go. Make him nice and floofy. There you go. He's getting there. I want to spend some more time on his face, so I don't want to spend too much time on his body, actually. But let me just do a few details here and there, and then we should go back to the face. The base isn't really done yet, so I want to have enough time to do that. Small little toes right here. We could add the toe beans, but that'll take too long. So let's just leave it there. Okay. There are tons of buttons and levers to control a plane. You only need autopilot. Same with Blender. Oh. I always wondered what all these levers are for. They're probably just like use this in case something super bad happens, and generally or they control a very niche thing, which you probably oftentimes don't really change. So you don't really need to, need to use it at all. But I might be wrong. I'm not a plane expert. Maybe we need to ask Yanis if he has some more info on that. There you go. Look at that chonker. Okay, let's add the tail and then we go back to the face. Right there. Invert and grab this. Da-da-da. Perfect. Little swoop right there. Whoop. Make it wider. Floof it out. Not only front but also to the back. There you go. Isn't that cute? Perfect. Okay, let's go back to the face. It's a conspiracy. They're just glued on. Yeah, it's just cardboard. They don't really do anything. They just, they just try to make it look more complicated. That's why it's so expensive to fly a plane. It just looks like it's hard, and they try to, make it so most people don't know what's actually going on. So that's why it's so expensive. There you go. Nose is there. The nose doesn't really look exactly like the one in the concept art. I don't like it. I think it needs to be sort of more blocky. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. There you go. That's better. Wait. Oh. There you go. Perfect. Look at him. No, the nose is too wide. That's better. Okay. What am I talking about? Well, that is something that you're not supposed to know, okay? So don't ask. We were talking about the conspiracy that planes basically only need one lever for autopilot and that's it. Okay, let's add the eyes. The eyes need Need some more love here. They look too weird. Well, there aren't really eyes, so let's add them now. Just use the crease brush to kind of create an eye hole here, eye socket. That looks pretty good. It doesn't really look perfectly like the one in the sketch. Maybe we need to kind of merge them more into the nose, like this. There you go. That's pretty good. Let's pull them down a little bit. I think they're placed a little bit lower. There you go. Okay. I also want to add a little bit more volume to his cheeks or to his nose right there. Perfect. I don't think the Discord chat works, unfortunately. Well, I think I changed it, but maybe I didn't. Can you check it again? Does it work now? Look at him. Okay. We need eyebrows, so let's add those. Make him look even cuter. Look at this. Such a small change. Yes, the possibilities are exactly what excites me so much to learning modeling. I have also already a precise goal in mind what I would like to achieve sometime. What is your goal? Is it more sculpting or more modeling like a car or something? Something hard surface? How do you make stretch geometry sculptable automatically with dynamic topology? Dynamic topology is basically a dynamic... it basically subdivides the geometry where you sculpt over with your brush. So if there's geometry that... So you set a certain resolution that the geometry is supposed to have. So how dense the vertices are supposed to be, how close they are supposed to be together. And if there is a spot where the vertices are further apart, it'll basically subdivide or, yeah, like cut the existing geometry into pieces so that the density that you set applies to that spot as well. That's the, I guess, the explanation that I can give you for it. So if you stretch something out like, I don't know, like this, you can see that it's very, very stretched. But then if you use the dynamic topology, you can see that it adds or subdivides the existing geometry and make it as dense as it was before, or as it's supposed to be, as we said. Like, you know, it's gonna be as dense as we set it to be, I guess, defined it to be. There you go. Thank you. Sorry, I don't do sculpting yet. Building myself up to it. Oh. Do you try, like, do you want to sculpt, or is that like your end goal, or do you also like hard surface modeling or other types of modeling? Because I don't really like hard surface modeling necessarily. It's cool to do it sometimes, but I don't really do it too often because I just don't like it too much. But you know, maybe you do like both. I don't want to. I want to keep it pretty round here. Pretty simple. There you go. Okay. Look at him. I don't know if the body is too long. I think it's pretty good. The chest needs to have some more definition though. Wait. The chest is way too small. We also need to pull the feet forward. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, sorry there. Hope you didn't get a concussion. There you go. Okay. So what I'll do now is something very, very crazy. You might not have seen it before because it's so crazy, but I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to smooth everything out, and then I'm going to use a very, very specific tool, which is called the Move tool in scope mode. And then you can just select this, move it forward. Oh, isn't that great? Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Perfect. Maybe even pull it down a little bit. There you go. You need to enable this one here, the gizmo, so you can see it. Otherwise it's just hidden if you're wondering why it's not there. Very, very useful. You can also post characters that way using the rotate tool instead of the move tool. Something I learned recently as well. You know, you never learn out. You never learn out. You're never done learning. That's what I wanted to say. Even after 2 years, there's still new things you can learn. Or I can learn. And you can too. There you go. Okay, I don't know if the chest is too far down. It's actually, I think, pretty good. There you go. Let's add the individual, oh, maybe not. Okay. There you go. Little doge. Let's add some eyes and then we're done. Look at him. He's wearing a helmet. Space helmet. Okay. Drink some vodka. Oh, which was... Wait, what? Hold on. Constant detail. I don't think relative detail changes the typo count as much. Relative detail is... with relative detail, you define the resolution based on the position of your viewport. So the closer you are to your scope, the denser it'll be. So if you say it'll be 25 resolution, and you're somewhere over here, whoop, you can see how big it is. But then if you go in very, very close and you do it, you can see how much more detail it gets. And then if you go even closer, you can make it even more detailed. And then if you go into wireframe mode, you can see what happened. Yeah, so relative detail is relative to your viewports or to your proximity to the scope, which I don't like. I tried it in the beginning, but I didn't like it, so I switched to constant detail. I just think, or at least for me, the constant detail setting works better for my workflow because I like to have specific, I guess, detail steps that I would like to follow, which doesn't really work that well with relative detail, especially because the problem that I had with relative detail is you say, well, I want to add some fur here. Let me go really close and just add some more here. There you go. Nice little fur right there. Oh, hold on. There you go. Nice little fur right here. See? Nice and detailed. Isn't that great? And then you go out and then say, well, I want to add some more big shapes here. Oh, it's all gone again. Well, I guess I have to do it again. Nope. That's not something I'm going to do again. So I switched to constant detail. And now everything is way easier. Now you can just say, well, I want to add detail or I want to add no detail. And you can switch between the two without having to fear that you just delete details like accidentally, I guess. Without setting it to constant detail in the dynamic topology, the words hardly change. I've been using remesh before using dynamic topology. Helps so much in having a properly set up plus dynamic topology doesn't turn on or off. Yeah. If you do it incorrectly though, it's all bad. I mean, if you do it incorrectly, I guess everything's bad. Okay. Let's give him the proper lighting that this good pup deserves, okay? Look at him. He's so happy. Okay. Let's begin. Let's do it on this side. There you go. Maybe not too far. I think that's pretty cool. Let's place him a little bit more in the center of the image, right there. Or should we place it somewhere over here? No, I like it there. Oh, hold on, let me try something. So what I wanted to show, well, I can actually show you how the rotate tool can work. So if we go in here and we select the head, wait, let me show you what I did. There you go. Shift A to make a proximity selection, I guess. Or expanded selection. There you go. I want to select everything part of the head. Right there. Perfect. Everything And then what we can do is we can select the rotate tool. Oh, hold on. We need to disable symmetry. There you go. We need to select the rotate tool. Then what we need to do is we need to... oh, we need to go to sculpt, set pivot to mask border, which will place it where the border of the mask is, which is not correct right now because I need to smooth the mask, otherwise it'll look horrible. There you go. Smooth everything. Nice and smooth. And then we do the same again. Rotate, sculpt, set pivot to mask border. Then we go over here, maybe up top, like this. And we can also just use the axis, I guess. And we can rotate the head. Look at him. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. Okay. And you can see at least on this side, it's quite, it looks pretty good in terms of stretching. If it was like a very, very harsh border for the mask, it would look very, very horrible. You can see we actually forgot some of the mask here, which is, which we're going to ignore for now. Okay. Nobody sees that. I need to pull the head over here a little bit too. There you go. And now he's looking to... oh, that looks so cute. Look at that. It's perfect. He looks so cute. Hold on. Hold on, where he's not done yet. And there you go. Perfect. Nice. The sculpt is done. Now we need to add the eyes. Yeah, that'll be a little bit harder, I guess, but we can just do it manually. If you do it incorrect... oh no. How you did that camera rotation, focus on the dog. If you have a keyboard with a numpad, numpad on the right, and you click on something you want to focus on, you can press the period button, and you will focus. No, is that a period or a comma? I think it's a period button. Hold on, let me see. Okay, it's nothing, I guess. If I press it, if I type in chat, nothing happens. Okay. Yeah, if you press the button in between enter and 0, you will focus on the object that you want to focus on, or that you have selected rather. So if you, for example, are in scope mode and you can see, well, your focus is somewhere over here, you rotate around nothing, and you want to focus on this eye, for example, what you can do is you can go in scope mode, press tab to go into edit mode. You select everything, pressing A, or left clicking and then A to make sure that everything is selected. And then you press the period button on your numpad and you focus on the eye. Well, there you go. That's how I usually focus if I'm in scope mode. I don't know if you can focus in here as well. What happens if I do that? Oh, that actually works too. Oh, that's pretty nice. So you can press D to switch between objects, and then if you press, period, you can switch between the object you want to focus on. There you go. I wish you could focus on a mask. That would be pretty cool. Just on the mask piece. I wonder if that works. Hold on. Viewpoint, navigation, align view to... no. No, I don't think that works. But it's still pretty convenient. Okay. There you go. Well, oh, we still need a name for this quick sketch. So if you have a name for this one, you can type it in chat. And the best one wins. Usually I go for something more abstract, but that's not necessarily, that's not a necessity. So if you have, a cool name, it doesn't really matter what it is. The best one wins, I guess. If there's none, then I'm just gonna, I guess, make one up myself. There you go. Look at him. Okay. There you go. We need some lighting now. You can just press R. Wait. Oh, in scope mode? Can you? Hold on. Oh, wow. Didn't even know that. That's interesting. Wait, can you... No, if you press G, you get the grab brush. What? I hate those inconsistencies. Well, if you press R, you get the rotation buff. You get the rotation brush. Well, G is moving objects for some reason. So if you press G, you get the grab brush. What did you think? I don't know. I'm stupid, I guess. Okay, let me... What about M? Nope. Mask, I guess, makes sense. Well, grab makes sense as well, but R for rotation? Who cares, okay? Okay, let's go. Wait, but does it rotate? Oh, well, who cares? Nope, I'm not gonna think about it anymore. The camera's rotated near the dog. Yeah, I think that's what we've explained. Biggie as the name, okay. Ain or Ein, the Corey from Cowboy Bebop. Is it just EIN? Gustav the Fluffles. Oh, that's pretty nice. You can also double R for the ballpoint rotation. Yeah. Think about it. Give in to the distraction. Nope. Okay. You know, it's like the Matrix. The Matrix. If you tell me that I'm in the Matrix, I'm gonna know that I'm in the Matrix. And I can stop it. You know, if you don't tell me that I should think about it to distract myself, then I don't think about that I'm getting distracted by thinking about it. So, you know, it's your fault that I don't stay in think mode. Okay. But I rambled too much. Let's finish this. Collection light. Okay. Look at him. Wait. There you go. Okay. So, what does it look like? Probably pretty horrible. Looks incredibly awful. Let's make a new lighting scene. Oh, that looks pretty cute. Let's see. If you want to rotate lights around an object, you can put the... usually, of course, your objects are in the middle of the scene, probably. At least for these quick sketches. If not, then you can, for example, select the object that you want to rotate the light around. You can press Shift S. Say cursor to select it, and then the cursor will jump to the small little orange dot, which is the pivot point of that object, the anchor point basically. And then if you set the pivot point transformation to 3D cursor, everything that you transform will be transformed around that 3D cursor. The standard setting is median point. So basically, if you have multiple things selected, it'll take the middle of these two pivot points, or of course, how many pivot points you have, how many objects you selected, and it'll rotate around that. But we want to rotate around the object, so we're going to use the... Oh, hold on. I want to place it somewhere over here. There you go. Okay, next one. Oh, that's a... What is that light? Oh, just to add some more light, I guess. 5-point lighting. Yeah, I changed my lighting approach, I guess, a little bit. I switched from just 3 lights and a colored light to something more where I use the main light to highlight a certain part of the image. Then I use 2 or more lights to just add some more depth to the sculpt. And then I use one more usually for the rim light and one more for a color. Okay. Oh, hold on. There you go. So this one you can see without it, everything is dark down here. If we add it, you can see we've added a little bit more depth. You can actually see what's in the shadows. Now we can place it in a way where we can kind of highlight the structure. I want to make this side darker than the other one. So we're going to place it there, and then we're going to grab one more. Is that... Oh, that's the color. That's another soft light, right? Yeah. I place it somewhere over here, and you can see now how quickly we can add depth to the sculpt. Might still be pretty dark, but we can still change it. Let's place that somewhere over here. Make a little rim light over here. That's pretty cute. I like to place it on the dark side, because the dark side is closer to the background color. And to kind of set it apart from the background, I like to place the rim light on that side, sort of like an outline. There you go. I think that's pretty cute. I don't want to make it smooth because I've never done that before, so let's stick with the tradition. We also need the this one. Where should we place this one? Maybe on top. Oh, that's pretty cute, I think. Nice little warmth on the left side. Maybe on the other side, but then it'll be too... No, that'll be too much. I like it on that side. Yeah. Which color should we use? Maybe something nice and yellow. Or green. I like the orange color, but we used orange yesterday, which is a problem. And everything else is quite cold. Maybe yellow. I think that's pretty cool. 5000 might not work as well. Some colors work better if they're quite, if they have a strong power or high power. Some work better if they have a low power. I think 5000 works actually quite well for this. Maybe a little bit more orangey. I think that's pretty good. Nice little sunshine in the back. Perfect. Then we need the materials as well. There you go. Doesn't really do much. Hold on. Hold on. There it is. Small little outlines. I think that's pretty cool. And then we need the eyes as well, which we can just do real quick. Nice and black. And then we also... Oh, yeah, of course. Roughness 0. Oh, look at those reflections. Aren't they cute? Okay. The problem now is... Usually if I use these super glossy orbs or like eyes, the problem with them is that they have this weird reflection in them. You can see it looks like this is like the white part of the eye and then this is the iris, which means if I place them perfectly in the socket, it looks like he's just hardcore, like cross-eyed. He's just looking like one in this direction, one in the other. So I kind of have to, I guess, place the eye somewhere else so that it fits better. Maybe, I don't know. There you go. That's pretty cool. Do the same on this side. Oh, that's actually, that works quite well. There you go. Perfect. Nice. This actually turned out better than I expected. Okay, let's do the render. First of all, low res, so we can do some post-production, and then we can finish it off. Number 1. Ein? Ein sounds kind of weird. I just made you go on a tangent about not getting distracted. I win. I don't know if that's how that works. Okay. Let's put that in there. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Let's set it to size 6, so it's not as big, the glow. Maybe 7. Yeah, and then maybe 1.5 threshold, so it's not as big either. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. Perfect. Okay, remember, we have 15 seconds apparently to drink, so make sure to drink right now. Where's my bottle? There it is. Make sure to drink, stay hydrated in these dry times. Make sure to stay hydrated. Okay. Speaking of water, I need to I need to guard our I need to guard our basement. There's one like on the ceiling of our basement. There are these valves, and one of them for some reason just has a very teeny tiny small hole in it, which means from time to time, like every, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, there's just like a drop coming out of it and, you know, falling to the ground. And now, because my parents are on vacation, I need to guard it and make sure that, I don't know, it doesn't break and completely destroy our basement, I guess. Which wouldn't be a lot of fun. So, you know, I'll try to keep it and I'll try to keep an eye on it. It's super weird because why is there just like a very small hole just randomly in the middle of the valve? How does that make sense? I can imagine it just being like it's just eroding from the inside. Maybe there's just like a small piece that wasn't really, maybe there's some sort of cover on the inside so that it doesn't erode as fast, and it wasn't really, there wasn't any of that in that small spot, so it eroded faster than anywhere else. I don't know, but for some reason there's a small hole now, and we put a bucket underneath it until the technician comes and I guess repairs it, which he did before once, and it's already filled like, you know, a normal bucket, and it's already filled like that much from, I think, from yesterday to now. Okay, let's go to Photoshop and finish off the image. There you go. Okay, let's finish it. So we're gonna begin with selective color correction, as always, which might be the only thing that we need. Actually, should we make it brighter? We can probably just make it brighter. That's actually probably the better option. I want to make this one quite inviting and warm. Maybe we'll go with that, and then we can also use what is that actually called in English? Hold on. Dynamics, vitality, vigor. That doesn't really make sense. Liveliness, zappiness. Okay, let's use the zappiness filter. Make it a little bit, make the colors more zappy. There you go. You can see it right there, the difference. They're just a little bit, I guess. It's not really saturation, it's something else. You can see the saturation is another value. I don't really know what zappiness does, but it does something. Soft, I guess saturation, I don't know. It works, so I'll use it. There you go, perfect. I think I'm gonna go with, what was it? Gustav de Fluffels. I think that's the one that I like the most. So you won. Space Cookie, you won. You won the lottery. Today. That's gonna be the name. Which means I'm gonna see you in 3 minutes. Once I've uploaded the image. We're gonna begin continuing the Wraith. Yesterday we blocked it out. Today we will fully finish the body and maybe even add the cape, the cloak, whatever you want to call it. Maybe even finish the Wraith fully. Which means, hope you're excited about that. Which means also that the model is basically done. We have the base, which we can think about what we can do there. But that is basically all which is part of the character, which is then done. Which means, let's go into that in 3 minutes. And hopefully finish it. I'm gonna see you in 3 minutes. I hope you enjoy... Oh, wait, I'm not done yet. Hold on, let me export the image. I hope you enjoy the compilation. Hold on. Need to stall. Why am I so good at it when I don't want to be? And when I want to stall, I'm so bad at it. Yeah, we're gonna begin we're gonna continue working on the Wraith, talking maybe a little bit about, you know, sculpting anatomy, I guess, the body and the face. And my techniques, I guess, to finish the Wraith. So I'm going to see you in 3 minutes when I've uploaded the image. And then we're going to begin doing that. Hope you enjoy the compilation. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Okay, we're back. I don't know why, but for some reason Nightbot doesn't like having the right link, I guess. I actually wanted to look at that yesterday. Let's do that right now. Let's quickly, I'm just gonna paste in the new link and maybe that'll help and work. Hold on. Let me check something real quick. Well, Nightbot works, right? So it should work. Well, so using the command works, but what about the link? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna set it to no limit. Create new link. Copy. Okay. Gonna put it in the Discord action. Command exclamation mark Discord message blah blah blah. Link right there. Submit. Okay. Let me check if that link works that I've put in. It does. Okay. So it should work now. You can test it. Hopefully it works. Can I just, I don't know, reset it? Channels, yeah, okay. Regulars, nope. Integrations, no. Dashboard. There it is. Coming soon, what? I can't really remember how you add Nightbot to your stream, but for some reason it just works default. Nope. Well, hopefully it works now. Let's see. I'm just gonna do it myself. There you go. Wait. Oh my god, I'm I don't even know my own command. Hold on. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, now. Yeah, it works. Okay, perfect. So this one works. So if you know, yeah, now it works. Perfect. Okay. Let's go and continue what we've began yesterday. Hold on. There it is. Okay. Let's open up this bad boy. I'm going to show you the current state. There it is. Look at him. He's wearing the original, the newly perfected, nearly perfected scythe. But that's not what we're going to sculpt or what we're going to refine today, because that is already done. Let me show you what we'll do today. We will... Well, let me show you this first. So I've added some, I guess, some basic shading to this. You can see... so this was generally, or in the beginning, just this mesh, basically. Well, you can really see it. There you go. What I've done then is I've added a multi-res modifier and just basically added some, you know, sculpted onto it on scoped level 5 and 4 to add this sort of wooden texture to it to give some more structure to the underlying body, I guess. And then I've added, I finished and refined the plating geometry a little bit. I've added this gold detail just temporarily, as you can see right there. We'll probably add this gold plating in the end, in the texturing part of the, I guess, of the project to finish the entire thing. But that's the finished scythe now. In his hands, you can see these wrappers, I guess, wrapping bands here as well. What I've done here is basically just I've used a plane that I've just that I've added a subdivision modifier to it, as well as a solidify modifier, and then I've just extruded it out so I can wrap it around this this staff, or the handle, I guess. He's not really holding on to the hand. Well, he's actually sort of holding on to it. Yeah. So that's the finished scythe. You can also see the gem right here, which looks pretty cool in viewport mode, actually. If you set it to, in the shader settings, if you set it to viewport display and then some random color, metallic 1, roughness 0, you can get this nice sort of glass effect. If you set it only to glossy or roughness 0, you can see it looks kind of like weird. If you set it to roughness 1, it also kind of looks weird. But if you combine the two, 1 and 0, it looks like this. Pretty cool. So the next step will be, oh yeah, basically all the colors that I have right here will probably be replaced by a texture in the end. You can also see it in rendered view right here. Nothing has color, of course, because all the colors are just visible in viewport mode. As you can see, you see nothing. There it is. Rendered. Yeah, nothing has color. Oh, let me look at this in Eevee. Let's see what it looks like. Well, where are the shadows? No ambient occlusion, I guess. Why not? What is happening? Oh, I think we can't really use HDRIs in Eevee. I don't know why, but for some reason it doesn't really work, which is annoying. Yeah, but at least you can see everything, which wasn't really what I wanted to do, but it sort of works. Hold on. Distance. There you go. Now we have some bigger shadows. Now it looks pretty good. Yeah, that's the final, I guess. The final model. We might. There's a little bit more detail that we could add here. We'll see if we do that, or I do it. probably do it off stream if I want to do it. But this is not what we're gonna work on today. What we will work on today is actually behind him, which is this one here, which is this one. Look at him. Sitting right there, ripped as a bodybuilder, ripped like a bodybuilder. So we've yeah, we started yesterday with a block out. That's not the block out, is it? I guess okay, well, I guess so. In the beginning, oh, there he is. So that's what we started with, blocking out the general shapes with general easy shapes, like you know, just a subdivided cube to create the general, you know, body. And then we parented everything together and created a, I guess, parent rig, if you want to call it that, to rig creates a few poses for the character without having to apply a rig to the Wraith. Then I decided to make the hand a little bit smaller because in this game, the in-game model has quite big hands just to kind of make them more readable once you do attacks in the game. But then if you look at the concept art, you can see they're actually quite small compared to the in-game model at least. So I kind of wanted to do something in between. So we went with a medium-sized hand, I guess, which you can see right here. So this is the final pose. Yeah, we've started kind of laying out the general anatomy. So today what we're going to do is we're going to refine it. We will also separate the head because the head, I would like to use symmetry for the head. So what we'll do is we'll just separate the head from everything so we can use symmetry. And then we're going to just, I guess, combine everything together again in the end. Everything else is asymmetrical anyway, except maybe for the upper body, so we can just use asymmetry, or we don't really need asymmetry necessarily. So yeah, the next step will be to continue working on this bad boy until he's done. So I'll just hide everything that we don't need right now, and then we can begin. There you go. Oh, what is that? What? Where? Why is that one not hidden? Oh, wait, where's that one placed? Or where is it? There it is. Why is it up there? Okay, perfect. Look at him. Okay, let's work on the Wraith. Okay, so we've laid out the general basic anatomy yesterday. So today it comes down to refining it. I think we're going to start with the body, and then afterwards we're going to go into the head afterwards. One thing that I sort of thought about, what we could do is, or we thought about how we want to construct the body. Do we want to make it very skinny, or do we want to make it very buffed? I think I want to stick more to this concept art piece, where his body is quite skinny. I think that fits more to a Wraith anyway, like a bony sort of character. So we're gonna sort of change the proportions a little bit to make him look more skinny. What I want to do for that is actually grab some reference so we can get a better look at a skinny person. Skinny male, I guess. There you go, just so we have some reference for that. I think that one worked quite well. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe there are better references here. References are always important. Of course, you can also just grab your nearest 3D, or I guess you can use yourself as a reference too, but you know, it's always better to have something that you can look at from time to time instead of, I guess, having to look at yourself. You know, standing up looking at a mirror, for example, you can always grab one of these, you know, to have the anatomy at hand if you need it. Problem, of course, with this being, he isn't really that skinny. So we either just grab this one to lay out the general anatomy, and then we reduce the size of the muscles, or we grab other references. There's actually one thing that I want to try. So I want to try a specific brush that might work in making the character skinny without us having to do a lot for it to be, I guess, skinny, or you know, without us having to do a lot. What I mean is, if we use the... No, first of all, what we need to do to test it is we need to find the character. Where's the character? Hello. There it is. I saw it for a millisecond. Hold on. There he is. Okay. So, what I want to try is basically when you're skinny, the only really big difference between a skinny person and a muscular person is that the muscles are smaller, have less volume. So what if we just select all the muscles and then we just let them shrink, or we shrink them down? What would that look like? Does that work? Does that give us the desired result that we're looking for? So what I want to do here is I want to select everything that is part of, like, that is muscle, and I'll just use a inflate brush the opposite way, and I want to see if that actually makes it look, you know, more skinny. Give us a good, I guess, base to work with. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. You know, then we don't have to really sculpt more. We just have to, you know, use that brush to, or at least we can make a good base. We can create a good base mesh that we can then work off of. This saves us a lot of time. So we couldn't really just select everything and then just do it, because there are also some bones that if you want to shrink them, you know, of course the bones would be deformed, which isn't really what we want. So we can really only select everything that is part of muscle. Everything else needs to be unselected, so that we can exclude it in the end. There you go. Basically the entire arm, except maybe for the elbow, can be selected. I laid out the anatomies like this big, just because laying out anatomy with big muscles is easier than doing it with, you know, a skinny, with, I guess, skinny muscles. Yeah, that's why I laid them out and make them that big. But of course, that's not really what the character looks like. You know what would have probably been easier? To select the bony parts. I think we have less of them. But now it's too late. Now we need to continue. I might even use a trick so that we can place the head on the body while still, or we can on the post body while still using symmetry for the head once we sculpt it. Might pull out that trick. Trick 17 in the sculptor's guidebook. Okay, we're almost done selecting. Okay, finally. Oh, no, there's more. Oh, no. There you go. Okay. I'm very excited to see the final result with all the sort of characters, I guess you could say, included. The model basically done. Really excited to see that. And then even, you know, seeing it in the end will be really, really cool. There you go. Okay. So everything is selected that is not muscle. Let's now use the inflate brush to make it smaller. So we go down here, we can use the mesh filter brush we invert it, the mask, and then we can go into the brush settings, set it to inflate, and then if we use it, we should make the arms skinnier, or everything skinnier. We can either make it bigger, make it a very, very chunky boy, or we can shrink them down. It looked very weird, but we can smooth it in the end. There you go. We can also use the smooth operation for that. Let's see what that looks like. There you go. And now we have a nice skinny dude. That was quick. Worked actually very, very good. Wow, I'm actually impressed how well that worked. So now we can use that as a base and just, I guess, refine the muscles a little bit to make them look natural again. And then we have a skinny Wraith. Of course, we can't really use symmetry right now, so we have to do both sides, at least for the chest. But at least it's only the chest that we need to do that way. There you go. Maybe the head is actually too big. We can change that later. Okay. This works actually very well because it kind of looks like we can see the ribs, the rib cage through the muscles, and because they're so thin, they don't really, I guess, they still sort of show the structure of the ribs, which actually looks pretty good. So I kind of want to keep it that way. We don't really need the shoulder necessarily. There you go. This looks kind of weird. Guess we can just smooth it. This probably has too much volume here, so reducing it would probably help the most. Maybe even make it, what is it called? The inverted stomach. Okay, oh, isn't it like vacuum belly or something? The actual term for it, or the name. Probably not like a medical term, but what sort of bodybuilders can do, like this. Kind of, they pull their chest up and inhale so that their stomach gets as flat, I guess, as possible. They pull their stomach into their body, I guess, into their core. There you go. Okay, let me pull up the reference that I grabbed. Did I even save it? Hold on. I didn't. Okay. There it is. Okay. Okay. That should work. Not a lot of definition. Well, yeah, it's not super defined. You can see the individual muscles, but it's more, I guess the mix between bones and muscles is a little bit more even than you would see it with more muscular characters. Of course, the muscles in themselves aren't as voluminous. Generally, I think you can also... I don't actually think that's really the case necessarily. I don't think the Adam's apple is more visible when you're skinnier. Well, I guess it depends on how much, you know, how, let's say, thick you are. You know, the more, I guess, fat deposits you have, the less you'll see the Adam's apple. But I think that's only really starting at a certain point. Hopefully, you can really see that comparing muscular people to, I guess, skinny people. Welcome back, Yanis. We actually talked about you today. We mentioned you already. Because we we had a question which we couldn't really answer ourselves. Maybe you know more as a flight expert, because you know how to fly. What are they called? Not sailors, but you know how to glide. A glider. You know how to glide. Maybe you know what all these levers in like commercial airplanes are for. We thought about, you know, they probably just have like a very, very distinct reason, or you know, like a thing that they're used for, but generally they're never being touched because they have such a niche, like mainly to start it up. Oh, okay. So, oh, so they basically, yeah, I guess, yeah, well, in the air you don't really do too much, I guess. You just fly, I guess. And then when you land, you need to control like your altitude, you need to stabilize everything, you need to pull out the wheels, make sure, or you know, land. Change the flaps on the side to change the not only altitude but also rotation and all that stuff, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you learn about that in I guess gliding school, gliding academy? Is that something you talk about? Or are you just interested in that topic? There you go. All I know was that I did a flight school simulator once, and I was the only one that was able to land it, okay? So I can fly a plane now, okay? We have 4 levers in our cockpit, 2 of which are to open the canopy. Well, you know. I mean, you probably also have levers in the airplane for the doors, you know. So there's at least probably 3 or 4 for that. What tablet do you use for sculpting? Welcome back, Creation. I hope you have enjoyed your last drink. Maybe it had alcohol in it, maybe it didn't. And also, of course, I hope you enjoyed your day. I'm using the Wacom tablet Intuos Art or Draw. The one that I use is not really available anymore. There's a new series of the Wacom Intuos. So if you want to pick it up, you can basically get at least a similar model than what I use. Welcome back, Johnny. I hope you have enjoyed your last trip to the grocery store. I don't know if that's something you can really enjoy, but you know, maybe. My day has been pretty good. Hope you've enjoyed yours as well. Okay, let's continue the definition. We can see here, I think we need to pull this in a little bit. You can see that kind of transitions over to the chest pretty evenly. There isn't really like a big pit here, so I just try to even that out in the middle here. Make it nice and flat. I'm drinking a body armor. So good. Does yours have a screen or just the tablet? Body armor? What is body armor? I mean, I don't know the drink actually. I never heard of it. Interesting. Is it a fruity drink? Mine doesn't have a screen. Mine just has a... Hold on. I don't know if my cable is long enough. There you go. You can see it right here. You can see where I use it the most, right here. The activity point, let's say. It looks pretty weird, actually. I don't know why it looks that way. Yeah, mine doesn't have a screen. I just use one without one. I've been using it for quite a while now. Even before I started using Blender. So I got used to it, or I was used to it when I started Blender. It's a competitor to Gatorade. Ooh. So I guess it's pretty fruity. Sounds pretty nice. There you go. Oh. I wonder, I don't even know if we have Gatorade in Germany. Hold on. We have, what is it called? Active? Gatorade. I don't think we have that in, hold on. Do we? No, I don't think so. We have, I can't remember what it's called. Energy, no, it's not an energy drink, right? It's something else. Sports drink, hold on. Sport drink. We have Powerade. We have Powerade. That's the one that we have. I guess it's similar to Gatorade. But that's the one that we have. We don't use the we don't get the Gator, we get the power immediately from the source. Okay. I've actually, I don't know, I think I've tried it a few times, but not that often. I like to stick to water, and without I guess bubbles, because I kind of feel like you either like a little bit of what is that called again? The without bubbles. You either like it with or without it. I don't really think there's like an in between. You either grew up with it or without it, and then you either like, and then you either like. Well, if you grew up with one of them, you don't like the other one. Basically, that's like my experience so far. Powerade. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I can't remember ever seeing the label or the Gatorade bottles. Water, better than body armor, better than Gatorade, better than Powerade. Wait, let me see what body armor looks like. Body armor drink. Rain orange dreamsicle? What? Hold on. Oh, there's actually, Google suggests, oh, there it is. No, I've never seen that one before. I don't think we have those. Or do we? Maybe. No. No, I think we only have Powerade. See? I mean, at least Powerade made it to Europe. Seems like Powerade is better. At least they sell more. Or, they just come from, I guess, Europe, maybe. They put their priorities elsewhere. Coconut water. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Coconut water actually sounds pretty good. Do you really taste the coconut water? Because it's it looked pretty fruity. So I don't really... Do you really, like, taste it? Because why would you use coconut water if you could also just use normal water? I guess as a marketing gag, maybe? I don't know. Tried coconut water before. It, tasted a little bit different, but not too much. It actually didn't really taste that sweet, to my surprise. I thought it would taste sweeter. The first taste that I got from a coconut was actually a moldy one. My mom decided to buy one just to taste it, just to try it. And of course, the one she buys, she first of all tried to open it for probably like half an hour until she finally opened it. And then it was like I was playing in my room, and then I just hear these loud noises. She's just trying to open that coconut with all her force, trying to open it. And then she finally did it, and she said, "Hey, do you wanna do you want to try it? You know, you can be the first one to try it and say, hey, why not? You know, and then I come over, I try it, and it's like, oh, it I mean, it tastes kind of weird. And then she tries it, or she smells it, and she's like, oh, I think it's moldy. And it's like, nice. Completely wasted. It'll need time, but also money. Not, of course, my time. I could have played some more with my Legos, and I spent time drinking or tasting a moldy coconut. Okay, it's a horrible waste of my time, especially when I'm 12. I don't have enough. Okay. In some of them you can, but others not really. Oh, I guess some have a stronger taste, some don't. 10% coconut water. Oh. Is there a coconut flavor? Okay, there you go. Trying to keep it very skinny here, because this is supposed to be a skinny ghost. There you go. I think that's a good start. Let's do the other side, and then we can go to the arm. Actually, let's do the body first. Okay. You know, the only reason really why I know that stuff like sport drinks exist is from all the like sports games, I guess. Not like real life tournaments or whatever, like the World Cup, soccer World Cup, for example. They always have some sort of sports drink. And then I played football for some time. I think we had, I don't even remember. I think sometimes we got like sports drink there too, but of course it's like mainly sugar, so we didn't really, I guess, you know, we were still kids, so they didn't feed us the drink, you know, like crazy. They just, I think sometimes, I guess, poured one out for us, you know, when we won or for some whatever. I remember so the where we sort of trained, where we trained for our, I guess, when I was in, like, when I played soccer, we trained, you know, at like this team house, and that team house had a kiosk, and that kiosk always had these ice, I don't know what they would call them, like ice cups. They're these plastic cups with you know, water ice, or like ice in them. Watery ice, I guess. Not like creamy ice, but water. And you would get a spoon, and then you would have to kind of scrape it out. You would get like it would be this big, you know, you could hold it in your hands, and then I think we call it like scrape ice, I guess you could translate it. It was really, really good because the goal, or you know, the ice wasn't really, you know, that great in terms of taste. It was just like a normal, I guess, ice. But what really, you know, the most exciting part was just to kind of scrape it off of there, because you really had to dig, and you didn't have to put your weight in it to really get it out, and, you know, get a lot in your mouth and all that stuff. It's really, I don't know. Sometimes I still buy it because it's just a, I guess, cool thing to do. And then there was another one which I had in some, I think on I don't know, we were on vacation somewhere, and there was this weird ice brand which sold these tongue eyes, and those tongue eyes were basically, it was ice combined. No, it was ice in the middle, then a layer of I guess jelly, and then on top of that another layer of ice. So you would, once you once you licked it enough, you would melt the first layer of ice, and then what happened is it would basically like flop over because it was jelly on in the middle. So it would look like a tongue basically. That's what the whole gimmick was. And then you would, have this ice which looked like this. It was super sweet and actually tasted really good. But I never saw it afterwards. I only had it once, and I've never seen it afterwards. Not actually. Yeah, never. Maybe it was highly poisonous. I don't know, but when I tried it, it tasted really good. And I wish I could taste it again or try it again, just to see if it still holds up. I wonder why the crease brush is so laggy on this. Usually it's very smooth, but for this it's really weird. If I'm too quick, it starts to lag, and I don't really know why, because there's not really that much that could make it lag, Just, if the clay strips work fine, then why is the crease brush struggling? What is up with that? What is up with that? Now we're gonna add the spine here because he's very skinny. We're not gonna see it, but that is another. But here you can see why it takes so long sometimes for me to finish a project. You're not gonna see what I do right now, but I know that it's there, so I'm gonna add some more detail to it that you're not gonna see anyway. You're not gonna see the spine in the end, but maybe you're gonna remove, or I'm gonna render it without the with the wraith, I guess, naked for some reason, and then you're gonna see it. If I take a screenshot or if I render it from the back, then you're gonna see it. So it's important that that it's refined. Yeah, I don't know why I do it. Sometimes I just think to myself, well, nobody's gonna see that, but then I think, well, but I know that it's there, and then I just continue working on it. Which is a heavy burden to have. Okay, please feel sorry for me. There you go. Okay, at least it's done. Well, technically we don't really see anything except for the arm, but I at least want to give it a general. Well, first of all, I want to practice the anatomy of a skinny person, because I haven't really done that before. But at least I can practice it here for this one. Rendering takes a while, I guess. At least mine does. For your animation, have you finished your animation? Or have you continued working on it? Is it done? Was it a personal project, or did you do it for like a, maybe not client, but for your instructor or whatever? He asked you, hey, I heard you can work in 3D. Why don't you, do you want to do this for me? Can you hook a brother up, basically? Personal project, okay. The best types of projects. There you go. I think that side is pretty good so far. Try to keep it pretty flat. Okay, let's do the other one. So this one doesn't have a shoulder, which is kind of weird, but we'll try to do it anyway. Of course, if a limb is missing, I don't really know where to place. Like, the muscles connect to a specific limb, which, for example, is the pectoralis muscle, the pecs, chest muscle, I guess. But if there's no arm, there's nothing to connect to, so I guess it just ends, I guess. Let's do that then, I guess. Sort of works. There you go. You render on Google? What do you mean? You use a render farm to do it? Or what do you mean? Are you farming those renders? Never tried using a render farm. But of course, sounds pretty effective. Something from Google called Collab. It's a Linux server you can connect to and use it. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Collab. Hold on. Collab. www.collab.inc. I don't think that's it, right? Is it? We are Collab, a digital talent network and entertainment studio helping creators win at life. I don't think that's the one that you mean. Well, let's see. Google Collab. Welcome to Collaboratory. Filter notebooks. Examples, Google Drive, GitHub upload. Okay. Collaboratory, or Collab for short, allows you to write and execute Python in your browser with zero configuration, free access, easy sharing. Whether you're a student, a data scientist, or an AI researcher, Collab can make your work easier. Watch Introduction to Collab to learn more. Okay. And that lets you run Blender? Okay. Can you see the... I guess you can see the interface, otherwise it doesn't really work, I guess. Interesting. Never heard of it before. So what you're telling me is that that you cannot only fly a glider, or glide a glider, you can also write Python? Is that what you're telling me? You can't, you run it on script? Oh, okay. Fairly easy. Okay. Sounds pretty interesting. If I was interested in code. I can copy Python. Oh, I mean, you know, that's a skill that some people, I guess, don't have, maybe. You know, you're ahead of the last 10% at least, maybe even 50%. You're ahead of me, because I'm not gonna spend time looking into it. But it looks pretty good. Looks pretty helpful. What do other people use it for, or where do you know it from? How did you find it? Because I've never heard of it. You can also not see it in the Google suite. So it looks like a pretty like off-brand thing. Like if you look into the Google tab at the top right, you can see all the Google suite project or the Google suite applications like Google Mail or Google Notes, but you can't really see stuff like that. Look for a way to speed up rendering. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. It's pretty interesting. Oh, there goes my cable. Well, the only thing that I find when I look up how to speed up rendering is 13 reasons or 13 ways to speed up rendering by Blender Guru. Maybe I haven't. Maybe my problem was that I haven't clicked on the second page of Google. Maybe that was the mistake. It's as fast as my computer. Oh. Yeah, that's the that's the benefit. You can use an external computer to render whatever you want. And how does it work then? I guess it then says, well, execution done, and then it gives you the image, or do you have to like use code to extract it to generate a download link, or how does that work? This doesn't look right. Oh, I know why. Because they're connected in the middle. All the way down to here, I think. There you go. I think that's what no, that looks weird. That looks very, very off. Let me look up at a skeleton real quick. Do we have one here? Right there. Perfect. See, we have all the references that we need. There it is. Okay, that looks way better. You tell it to where to download Blender, to install it, and to connect to your Google Drive. After you load the file, and tell Google to start Blender. Okay, interesting. How long does it take generally for the files that you've tried? Jesus, it's so laggy and I don't know why. Why do you do this? Maybe the file just gets overloaded. Maybe there's too much in this file. Maybe that's the problem. The file is too big. Could be the reason. I think we had that before. Currently takes 4 minutes per picture in cycles to render out, and this is fairly complicated scene with volumes and stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, as long as you can let it just render, you know, you don't really... It's a plus, it's a win-win, I guess, because you can still use your PC and you can render it out at the same time. Sounds pretty good to me. Where's the where's the catch? Is there a paid option? I mean, you know, usually if it comes from Google, it's not really paid, but you know, maybe something. You know, there has to be something. There has to be catch. Just it can't be perfect, okay? There has to be something wrong with it. Do you have to sell your soul? I guess the limitation is the sort of server that you get. You can let it run for a maximum of 12 hours. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a free version. Does it track your IP so that you can't use it twice? So you can't just like reload the page, or you can't log in after 12 hours again to do it again? Yeah, that's looking way, way better. I now remember what a skeleton looks like. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I've never really dabbled into the... I've only really tried to optimize my PC to make rendering faster. I also tried downloading RAM, but that didn't really work. I don't know why, but, you know. If I can download a program, then why can't I download more RAM, you know? There's something weird about it. I actually downloaded more internet speed, though. Technically, I guess. Because I grabbed a program that basically tripled my, or that changed some settings in my, on my PC. In my settings, in my, I guess, system settings, which dramatically increased the internet speed that my PC, I guess, was able to pull, which was pretty nice. Those are the best problems to solve. The ones that you didn't know you had, and then once you solve them, you see how much more convenient everything is. You know, I always thought I would only have that much speed, basically, and then I saw that there's something weird, and, you know, I tried to fix it, and then all of a sudden I have triple the amount of internet speed for solving a problem that I didn't know I had. You know, usually it's always annoying to solve a problem because you have to at that point, because you either don't want to deal with it anymore, or you need to solve it to continue working on whatever you're working on, or, yeah, for example, or doing whatever you want to do. But if it's a problem that you didn't really know that you had, it's the best problem to solve, because you didn't need to solve it, but you did, and that made your life a whole lot easier. For 12 hours at a time, just close the project, and you can reopen it afterwards. Wow. Well, that's that's weird. What, like, who needs an external PC that can run Python for more than 12 hours at a time? Who? What do you do with it? What do you need a PC for more than 12 hours that's not your own? You can't play games on it. Well, you can probably run some Python games, but who wants to play those, you know? AI researcher, I guess. But that sounds kind of niche. I don't know if they're gonna really, you know, make a lot of revenue or get a lot of revenue out of that. But I guess that's not really the goal. Okay. There you go. The chest is almost done. This looks kind of weird. I think that's a little bit too strong. Or we need to smooth it out a little bit. I think these are actually deeper in the body than the one up top. So we can probably keep this one, but we need to push those in a little bit. They're not as pronounced as the other ones up top. These spine vertebrae. There you go. You can use the paid option for better graphics card and longer runtimes. Oh, as well as more sessions in parallel. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it's just like a, you know, a niche website for a niche, I guess, audience or user base. And then, which doesn't really need a lot of maintenance, which means they don't need to make a lot of money, I guess, maybe. Not like the general public needs a needs a server that they can run Python on every day. I could be wrong, but I would make that wild guess. I would be so brave. Only could render 5 different scenes at once, the same 5 times. Well, you could also, if you want to render your animation, you could render it like if it has 240 frames, for example, you could render it. You could render the first 120 on your PC, and then the other 120 on the external PC. If you want, you know. Sounds pretty good. Definitely sounds pretty good. Do you actually see the definition in these, in the arms? I think everything is kind of smooth, right? Yeah. I kind of want to make it smooth. I want to make it skinny, but still ripped or defined. So I'm going to add these muscle definitions in here as well. There you go. Yeah, I never really needed to render 5 scenes at the same time, but you know. Well, have I ever rendered an animation actually? I don't know if I've ever rendered an animation. Well, maybe some shots like a video or like a 360-degree render from a project, but never really like an animation with an animated character, really. Wanted to do that for a few projects, but never really finished one. Which is kind of weird, but you know, at least I tried, I guess. I learned something on the way. So it's not been for nothing. I might actually say that this project might be the one that I learned the most in. So looking at all the things that we've done in this project might be the one project that I've learned the most in when it comes to new things. All the other sort of benchmark projects, if you want to call them, or long-term projects, have not been that diverse in terms of the modeling techniques that I've used. Oftentimes I just said, well, I could probably do it in sculpting, and then I did it in sculpting, even though maybe poly modeling would have been easier. But I think with this one, I finally sort of committed to trying polying or giving poly modeling a better try. And I think it turned out pretty good. It definitely can save you a lot of time, which I'll probably, yeah, I'll probably use it more in the future to sort of, you know, save time in different projects, especially for modeling armor, for example. I remember the chest piece that we've sculpted. You know, it was good that we've used sculpting for that chest piece because we learned more about hard surface modeling, hard surface sculpting, but it would have still been easier to just, I guess, model it with poly modeling. I'm still sculpting. Well, that's a, you know, but this one's different because that's a character, you know? It's probably easier to sculpt this rather than model the Wraith. That's why I do this one. You know, what I want to say is I learned more about when to use what, not just to use poly modeling now forever, okay? I now know the know more about when to use what and how to use it instead of when to use it everywhere or how to use it everywhere. So I'm not going to give up sculpting. I'm just going to maybe, you know, do a little bit more with poly modeling in the future instead of sculpting everything. I think that's one thing that can speed up the modeling process a lot too. You know, this project took quite a while, and I think one of the reasons is, first of all, just because I wanted to show the entire process, how I do it. Then also because I didn't use poly modeling as much as I could have. The chest plate could have probably been done in a week if I would have used poly modeling. But I decided to use sculpting, which probably cost, I don't know, like at least 2 weeks just to finish the chest piece, which is a long time. Which I also could have used in a different way. Same with retopology, of course. You know, using retopology plugins or automatic retopology in general, or using old retopology to retopologize the new stuff. It's definitely faster than having or trying to do it all manually. Which we're gonna utilize more in the future for other projects. We're definitely gonna use automatic retopology more, because that can save a lot of time. Which would bring this project, for example, probably from a I don't know, what is it, like 2-month project to a maybe 1 month or maybe even less months project. Well, 3 weeks sounds pretty short. Maybe if I do it off stream as well, if I work on it off stream, maybe then we can say 3 months, but otherwise, I don't really know. Actually, 3 months, I don't know. Need to do more projects to get a better evaluation on how long it'll take. Nice and thin. I don't want to make it too muscular again. Of course, I like sculpting more, but sometimes, you know, sculpting isn't the way to go. That's what I've learned the most in this project. Working on the chest piece took as long as adding all the other pieces, basically, of the armor. which I don't want to repeat. And also this armor is very, very detailed, so it generally just took a little bit longer. But now that we're almost done, I'm happy that we did it. All we need to do now is finish the Wraith and then add some more detail to... I mean, what is it? Finish the... or add color and all that, and then we're basically done. Shaders, let's say. Shading, let's shade everything. Which might be in the next 2 weeks, depending on how much time we want to spend on it. We'll see. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Or at least I can. Maybe you can't. Maybe you think it'll take 3 more weeks. I mean, 6 more months. I don't think so. Okay, the arm is almost done. Now we can go to the hand, and once the hand is done, we can go to the face and then the cloak. The face shouldn't take too long because it's quite simple actually. It doesn't have it's basically a skull without eyes or eye holes, just like a mouth, I guess. Which might look kind of weird, but that's what it is. The elbow looks kind of weird right now. I'm gonna bring it back in. It's too far out. I don't like it. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Once again, well, yeah, we're gonna do a new segment, I guess, on or if the need is there, or if the want is there. I decided to make it so on Thursday we're gonna do the next personal feedback session, where you can post your artworks in the Discord, and then you can you know, I'll give you personal feedback on those pieces live on stream. And what we'll do on this Thursday is something new that I want to try when... Well, there's at least one question. What I want to do is, we also have the questions channel, where you can post questions that everybody can answer, of course. As not, not only for me to answer them. And the questions that will be posted there will also be covered on stream on Thursday. When the feedbacks are done, we're going to go to those and cover those as well. If you have some burning questions on your mind, you don't like posting your artwork maybe, but you still have questions, you can post them there, and we're going to answer them on stream and maybe in the Discord beforehand. But of course, if we do it on stream, we can spend a little bit more time, maybe cover it more deeply than we could when we do it in the Discord. So if you haven't already, maybe you want to take advantage of the personal feedback, or you want to just, I don't know, join. So you see when I go live, because I post in there as well when I go live. Or you want to ask a question, you can join either with the link in the description or !! Discord. Yeah, and join the community. Sometimes you'll see some sculpts from Hustler while he's trying to improve his character sculpts. Sometimes you'll see you know, new pieces being posted in the previous personal feedback section. You can also, of course, post or, you know, give feedback to others if you want. It's not like it's only reserved for me to give feedback. Everybody can do it. So if you have anything you want to you see by, like, you know, for somebody else that you think can be improved, don't you know, don't feel shy. Just tell them the truth. You know, that's why they post it, because they want to get feedback. The more people give feedback, the better. There you go. Okay, it's kind of looking pretty flat right now, so I'm gonna add some more depth to all of this. This is quite thick right now. I'm gonna reduce the thickness of that. There you go. Kind of merge these muscles together a little bit. They kind of overlap with each other. They don't really have these deep creases. Okay, and then we need to add some more depth to these just by, you know, not only subtracting here to create these different muscles, but also adding a little bit to make them rounder. There you go. Perfect. Okay. I think we have reached a good point for the arm. Let's go to the hand now and go into that. Once we have the hand, we can go to the head. Hand anatomy can be quite annoying, but if we look at the anatomy, or if we think about the anatomy, it's not too hard. You know, and you know, if it looks horrible in the end, you can still use the excuse that it's fantasy, so it can look like however you want to make it look like. So if it doesn't look like anything, it looks horrible, then at least you can say, well, it's my creature, the anatomy is a fantasy, so don't judge my fantasy creature anatomy, okay? That's how I wanted it. It's supposed to be crippled, okay? Like this thumb, for example. Horrendous. Let's see. I think I'm gonna sit back down. Give me a sec. let's continue. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday too. I always struggled with hand anatomy, but the more I did it, you know, and I actually looked, I watched like a hand anatomy video recently, which helped a lot when I tried to learn the anatomy. Who would have thought that learning the anatomy of the hand, watching hand anatomy videos actually helps? Yeah, but you know, you might think it's more useful just to do it over and over and over again. But sometimes understanding why is more important than understanding how. Because once you kind of know why, for example, once you know what muscles actually do and how they work, why they are the way they are, why they look the way they look, and how they work, is probably more important than knowing like where they are, what they're shaped like, and yeah, basically like knowing how to sculpt them isn't really the end there, because once you know that muscles basically connect from one bone to the other, and if they flex, they you know, they shrink, which means they pull the bone closer, the bones closer to each other, which means you bend them, for example, or you do other stuff. Once you know that, you can basically translate that to all the muscles in the body, generally speaking. Of course, there are so many, and small muscles, supporting muscles and all that, that it can get quite confusing if you go into a lot of detail. But for example, for the biceps, once you're gonna know, well, the biceps is supposed to pull the forearm closer to the upper arm. Well, first of all, the biceps then has to connect to the upper arm as well as the forearm. And then you kind of know where they're, you know, where it's being attached to. Then you can go into, well, it is attached to those two. Then you can think about, well, what is the pose? Is it a neutral pose? Is it a flex pose? If it's a flex pose, you know, the biceps would be first of all shorter, but also more voluminous. And this way, you know, understanding sort of the mechanics can help you a lot in understanding why the anatomy is that way. Of course, you can also just learn how the anatomy, I guess, works. But I think, you know, going into the mechanics can help a lot there too. Help your understanding a lot. Same with these fingers, for example. Knowing that the finger bones are built in a way where they are thicker on the inside. I mean, thicker on where the knuckles are, where they connect, and thin in the middle, can help you a lot in sculpting realistic fingers. Because then you can just kind of adapt that for your hands, and you know, the fingers don't really look like sausages anymore. They actually look like fingers. I think that's the first sort of hurdle that you need to get over once you try to sculpt hands. The sausage finger syndrome. There you go. Okay. The more you think about the anatomy, look at the anatomy, and learn about the anatomy, the easier and quicker it'll be to sculpt whatever you want to sculpt. So it is only beneficial to learn. You want to create a lot of characters? It's time to learn. Of course, it not only comes down to anatomy knowledge, but also stuff like how to use the brushes to achieve what you want to achieve. But I think that's more secondary than the actual knowledge about the anatomy. I actually... No, I think anatomy is, I guess, secondary to, I guess, general execution of the tools. You know, if you don't know how to use the tools, you can't really, you know, do what you know. So once you know the shapes of the body, but you don't know how to sculpt them, well, you know, it doesn't really work. Let me try a different brush here. I want to try the elastic deform. The way it works is it kind of uses a sort of elastic modifier on it, which makes the deformations a little bit more organic. But I don't think it works that well here. Well, let's go back to the grab brush. At least the grab brush isn't as laggy. Maybe sphere works better here. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay. Okay, there you go. First finger is done. And if we look at it, we can see it goes from thick to thin, to thick, to thin, to thick again for the last knuckle. And then it goes back to even thinner. Generally speaking, for fingers also, fingers, the first bone of the finger is the longest. Then of course the middle one is the second longest, and then the tip is the shortest. That was actually the problem that I had, or the mistake that I did on my first rig that I created. The problem was that I made the tip, like the fingertip bones, as long or maybe even longer than the first bone, which then if you curl your fingers ends up in a problem, because you basically, if you do this, you can see they kind of curl up and then they rest on the palm here. But if the fingertips are as long as the other finger bones, they curl and then they stop somewhere over here because there's no much more room to curl. So you would either kind of have to do a different curl, or you couldn't really do it at all. So you couldn't really form a full fist because the fingers are too long. Or the distribution, I guess, of length is a little bit off. Which you can probably imagine is quite bad if you want to do an animation. Let's do the next finger. I want to make these fingers just like the other part of the body, pretty skinny. Oh wait, I need to change the fall off. There you go. Yeah, I want to make it pretty skinny. Because it's supposed to be a bony, skinny character. So it would only make sense to make the rest, the hands also pretty skinny. You know, the less muscles there are, the less fat pads there are, the more skinny a character looks. Who would have thought that's what skinny is? I also try to really highlight these sinews here. Make them look very, very, is it sinews? I think so. Very, very defined. Not a lot of flesh or fat or whatever muscles covering it. We can see the knuckles very, very visibly. There you go, and then we have this small little piece of skin between them. There you go. Nice and thin right there. Make it nice and thick on the knuckles. He looks like you would get splinters from touching his arms. You mean because he's made out of wood? Or because he's so sharp? He's so wait, what is that? I need to smooth this. There you go. He can probably, you know, deal a lot of damage. I would agree with that. But he's a, you know, on the inside he's a nice guy, okay? He's always holding up the, like opening the door for his Reaper friend. Looks very woody. Well, you know, I guess you could say he's very dry, so I guess that could work. Maybe do you mean because of these the bones that look very like hinges on a puppet, for example? Which could increase the creepy factor, which is perfect. Dry, yeah, exactly. Perfect. That's what I'm going for. Okay, I'll see you, Yanis. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Good luck with your... Did you... I mean, I guess you did your gliding... What was it? Gliding exam already? If not, then good luck with that. If it's in the near future. Okay, next finger is almost done. There you go. We're probably just gonna maybe I think we're gonna spend the day or the stream really fine-tuning the model, and then we can do the cloth tomorrow. I think we're gonna do that tomorrow. Today we can fully focus on the body. Make that as good as it needs to be. Not perfect, because that's not gonna happen, but at least better than okay. There you go. Let's do the tip. And then the next finger's done. Very pointy fingertip. There you go. I thought about adding some classical music to the stream playlist. The old music from Mozart and all the other composers from back in the day, because they're so old now. The music, it basically is now, it has no copyright anymore. So you could, you know, just play that without fearing any I don't know, strikes or whatever. Which, you know, I might do at some point, you know, just to spice up spice up the stream background music a little bit, make it, you know, add a little bit more classics into it. We have a lot of guitars, we have a lot of I don't know, like electronic music. I think we're missing some classical music. I have some already, but I haven't added those to the stream playlist yet. And they're also not the classics, they're just, you know, music made with classic, I guess, instruments, which is not the same. Okay. Okay, 2 more, and then we're done with the hand. I don't know if I want to go into more resolution. I think that'll just make my life harder. I think that'll just increase. Well, I might do it off stream just to kind of, you know, reinforce the details a little bit once we smooth the geometry in like add smooth shading instead of flat shading. I think it'll be better than to use to just give it a little bit more resolution, just to kind of keep the details a little bit better than what it would currently look like. Because the smooth shading kind of works like the denser the it's sort of like the less dense the what is the opposite of dense? Hold on. Oh, clear? No, that sounds weird. Thin, I guess. The thinner the density of vertices, the density amount of vertices. What do I want to say? Oh, dude, I'm I'm getting old. I don't know anymore what I want to say. Dude, I can't remember. Hold on, it's gonna come back to me at some point. Oh, the denser, the no, the thinner the density of vertices is, the sort of blurrier the shadows are, which will of course in general make the scope look more blurry. And to avoid that, we can add more resolution, which also requires a little bit more refinement, because otherwise it'll still just look very, very washed out, very blurry. But once we do that, we have very, very nice sharp details, which might actually look pretty good, or might enhance the look of the sculpt a lot. Okay, there you go. Oh, this looks kind of weird, kind of off. I'm gonna pull this back. Okay. Of course, sculpting a hand with with 4 fingers is weird, because I've never really done that before. I've only really sculpted hands with 5 fingers. Who would have thought? You know, but you know, it works almost the same way. You remove some muscles, I guess, and then it basically is the same. With the upper body, or removing one shoulder, or even like one arm, it's a little bit different. But yeah, but still. That's one thing that that's one thing that I pay a lot of attention to when it comes to fantasy, I guess, sketches or concept art, for example. Whether they sort of pay attention to human anatomy or not. You can very, very easily see that when you look at concept art from a character or something with more than 2 arms. Usually what they do is they just place them either above or... No, they place them sort of, yeah, above or underneath the arms. Maybe sometimes in between the shoulders of the main arms. And you can very easily see if they pay attention to like the anatomy and how it works. Because like they might just, you know, they place them just, you know, somewhere in there. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense, but because of the perspective that they use, it doesn't really isn't that obvious that these arms don't really connect to anything. But you can obviously see that these arms are just connected to the body somehow, which doesn't really make sense, you know, looking at the overall, I guess, anatomy of the rest of the body. I've seen some good ones where they actually pay attention to that and make sure that the new arms also have muscles supporting them or connecting to them. But some of them they don't really do that. They just, you know, add them somehow. Like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna hide them behind the body. I'm gonna put the camera in front of the character so we don't really see where the arms come from. You know, it's gonna work. But then, you know, especially if you're a 3D artist, you probably, if you look at a 2D image, even then you're gonna see, or you're gonna either want to recreate it in 3D, or you just would think what you would do to recreate it. And you would probably, you know, think about the anatomy and pretty quickly see what the flaws are. There you go. Okay. One more finger, and then we have the refined ghost. I don't know why, but it takes ages now to save the file. Hopefully I'm not slowly but surely destroying this file. Maybe I should make another backup. Just to be sure. You know, believe it or not, I don't want to lose all this. Just because I don't know. I don't even know. I've never had a file that just destroyed itself. Because it was too big. I had that in After Effects actually. That was one of the compilations. The second compilation that I made, I think I copied an effect just too many times, which I think overloaded the RAM, which meant that After Effects just crashed. And then when you try to open it up again, because you were on that time frame where the effect is being used, and you would, when you hit play, then you basically crash After Effects every time. And then I did some experiments to see if I can still use that effect without crashing After Effects, but it didn't work. And in the end, it basically destroyed the file because it, I don't know, but it just made it unreadable. So I had to go back like 1 or 2 versions and grab that one to continue. Which wasn't a huge time loss, but still, you know, who likes losing progress at all? Yeah, it was pretty frustrating, but you know, didn't lose too much, so it was okay. It was acceptable. If I lost like, I don't know, 5 hours or so, I would probably stop there and maybe went back later, or just left it there and you would have never seen the second compilation. What a scary thought. One little piggy left. Yeah, one. The little pinkies left, and then we have the last pinky. And then the face comes next, and then we have the entire body. Oh. Are you still doing your daily head or daily head sculpt, or is that something you do bi-daily or whatever you want? Or do you still do it, Hustler? Are you still on the grind? You can definitely see some results, so you know, I would encourage you to do it, to continue doing it. Okay. One finger almost done. There you go. Let's do the other one. Okay, that's pretty good. Next knuckle here. Try to do it daily, but I end up skipping 1 or 2 days per week. But when I'm free, I sculpt for like 5 to 8 hours. Ooh. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been there. Once you get sucked in, you can't get out of it before you're not tired. Or it's too late. Or you need to do something else. When I was finalizing the scythe today, I was working on it like for 4 more hours. And if you think about it, like 4 hours, that's basically 2 streams which is pretty crazy to think about. You know, if I could spend a day, 4 hours, which is quite a lot of time, of course, but you know, could either spend that much time off stream to work on a piece, or I could spend 2 streams, 2 days basically doing that, which is one of the reasons why I decided to do some I guess non-significant things like refining stuff off stream, because that's not really something I guess super interesting. It's more repetitive than interesting, I guess, and it saves time, makes the days more interesting. We would still work on the scythe today if I wasn't working on it over the weekend, for example, or today, and now we're working on the wraith, which is, I think, more interesting than just still working on the same piece for 2 weeks or so. Oh, not just for the viewer, but also for me. There you go. First Reaper stream, 23rd of August. 23rd? Yeah, so that's almost 2 months. Yeah, we're probably gonna end it at like 2 months, or maybe a little bit earlier. 2 months is a long time. I think the other project, the long-term project that I worked on, took 2 months. That's definitely something I want to keep pretty rare, or I want to do pretty rarely. But sometimes the inspiration just overtakes me and I can't stop myself. It would have also been faster if I would have at least done some work off stream in the beginning. And now that we talked about that so much now, but not only working off stream, but also working with some tools that would make the workflow faster, would have made everything quicker as well, which we're definitely going to do in the future. So it would have not been like 3 months or 2 months. That's quite a long time for the internet. With inspiration, I mean more the general idea, Like, you could also just say, well, his armor is quite detailed, or his armor is quite... Well, I guess it always comes down to detail obsession, I guess. Yeah, I guess. What can I say? It's a burden. That's why I don't do it as much, okay? That's why I don't do it as much. The inside of the hand looks kind of weird. Hold on. But the good thing about a long-term project is they're basically like, you can't really make them, turn them into videos necessarily every week, but you sort of hoard different topics. And then you can release them once everything's done, sort of. So that's at least good. So you don't really, I guess, in brackets, waste your time. Not really wasted time if you have a good, if you have a end product you're proud of, but looking at the content side of it, you could maybe consider it a waste. There you go. Hydrate? Oh, true. My phone is acting up too. All that was sculpted so far is in the same blend file. All that we've done for this Reaper is in the same blend file. There's nothing not in this blend file. Wait, nothing not? Yeah. I mean, I'm curious how big this file is now. Hold on. Let me see. Once I'm done with this piece here. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay, okay? There you go. Okay, the hand is done. Let's go to the face. The face looks very big right now. Maybe we need to reduce it. How many gigs? Okay, let me see. Like, so you're getting tired, you have that madman focus stare going on. I mean, you know, refining can be quite, you know, sometimes you gotta be very focused to refine some stuff. Okay, let's see. It has 638,439 kilobyte, which is what was it? 638,439. 638,439. 623.4755859 megabytes. That's quite a lot. I don't know if that's my biggest file. Maybe. Could be. Without any shaders. Welcome, magnifique poop, I guess. Thank you. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Wanted to thank you for your quick fabric material video. Thank you. I'm glad it was helpful. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was so, you know, I discovered it at some point for one of my quick sketches, and it was so helpful that I'm, you know, made a video about it. And yeah, it seems like a lot of people found that very helpful, because, you know, it's such a simple setup, but it's so effective in most cases. I think if you even look up, hold on. So if you go into, if you look up, what was it? If you go into the, like, on a private tab, and then you go to YouTube, and you look up Blender, what was it? Fabric material. The second video is mine, after Blender Guru. So that's an accomplishment. even before some pretty crazy like materials, you know? Just because it's literally in seconds. We have to celebrate. We hit 69 people. Oh. True, we have to celebrate. But only the 69th gets a present. Yeah, so if you ever look for a fabric material, the second one is mine. I knew that if I put in the title like literally seconds, because it's that fast, you know, it'll be quite popular because everybody's just looking for, oh, I want to have a quick fabric material, and then you see somebody like, hey guys, so today we're gonna make a material which will look like this, and after 10 minutes you're gonna have it. You're not gonna know how it works, but you know, at least you can create it at least once with my guidance. You know, but then you see a 5-minute video, you can create a material in literally seconds. Let me check that out. And then in the first 30 seconds, you can create a fabric material, which works quite well on a lot of things. My video is first. Oh, for me it's second. I typed in Blender fabric material. What if I type in Blender fabric? Let's see. Nope. Oh, it's fourth. It's fourth right there. Let's see, what else could we do? Blender? No, that doesn't make sense. Okay, fabric material. Oh, first. Easy. So the most common, I guess, the most common search terms lead at least to my video, at least as the fourth video. And if I type in fabric material, no, you can't even see Blender Guru. The next Blender tutorial is actually the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th video. What was the other one? Blender fabric. No, yeah, that was the one that I used before. Yeah. See, it's that easy. Yeah, I mean, hold on, let me see. Fabric Nogi, because it's the video channel. Yeah, and then you can see. Oh, you can even see the other video that I made about a car paint material. That's the second video, at least for me. Okay, let's continue. We need to sculpt the head still. So let's do that now. Okay, so we have a good reference right there. Let's go to the... Yeah, we need to add a head model that we can then use. So let's do that. Wait, where's the rest? Oh, we don't need more. Okay. I guess we could just use a sphere to do that. And then we can sculpt the head real quick. The head shouldn't be too hard. It's basically just a skull with some minor, I guess, characteristics which make it unique. Cursor to world origin. There we go. Okay. Perfect. How do you do that again? Control R to remesh. Perfect. Okay. Let's create a quick head material. Or material? A head. The Reaper head. Okay. Even Control Z takes ages for some reason. Oh, symmetry would be pretty nice. Wait. Oh, wait. I activated something else, I guess. Okay. I can't believe it. Soon we're gonna see the final model. After almost 2 months. Or 1.5. We can finally see the oh, it was off? Okay. We can finally see the character. It'll be like seeing your baby for the first time. Oh, okay, this will be annoying. Let me hide the Wraith real quick. Wait, where's the Wraith? Oh, there it is. Okay. So the problem is we're not gonna sculpt any we're not gonna sculpt a like eyes. So I usually use the eyes to sort of base everything else off of in terms of anatomy. Problem is we don't have these proposed eyes, so we need to, I guess, just do our own thing, I guess. This one looks very different to the one in the concept art, but I think I prefer the face or the yeah, the face of the Wraith in this concept art more, so we're probably gonna use that as reference more. Yeah, let's begin. There you go. I remember Blender was actually the program that pulled me off of video games for a while. I was so hooked on it that I actually stopped playing video games for a while. You know, I would play like, you know, after work, I would just, you know, come home and then play video games with some mates. But for a while, I actually didn't do that at all. Just because of Blender. Blender can change the lives. The power of Blender is immeasurable. But that's actually same. That was the same with YouTube actually. When I started doing YouTube videos, I sort of have this immense amount of motivation in the beginning, which is, you know, debatably sort of in, what do you call that? Like not sustainable. And then, you know, at some point it just kind of stabilizes, I guess. Or I decide I don't want to do it again or anymore. But, you know, with YouTube, for example, it stabilized instead of quitting completely, I guess. Let's pull it higher. There you go. Okay. I want to give him a very, very defined jawline. He's gonna be the chant behind the beta Reaper, followed by his Chad Wraith companion, or rather leader. The Wraith is just gonna tell the Reaper where he's supposed to go, and he's gonna go no matter what. That's how Chad he is. The Reaper knows he has nothing against him. If he tries to fight, he's gonna lose. Okay, let's add a mouth here. Kismed? What is Kismed? Is that in the Discord someone? Hold on. Kismed. Oh, here it is. What does GZ mean? And then again, because he joined again, I guess. An idea about rendering. About rendering render passes on a render farm. Ooh. Okay. Oh, congratulations, GZ. That doesn't make sense. Grats, I guess? I mean, I guess it makes sense. You wanna stretch it? All these gamers here trying to develop a new language. LOL, LMAO, LMFAO. All these cringy words. Just learn English, okay? You play more Final Fantasy XIV and Destiny than any other game I play? I actually don't play Final Fantasy right now. But, yeah. Well, but I'm not using GZ for congratulations or grats. You know, I might be a bigger gamer, but you're using the gamer language, which is cringe. So don't tell me that I'm the gamer here, okay? Never had a reason to congratulate your teammate? Well, I just say GG instead of GZ. I actually never heard that before, or I never paid attention to it. Well, you can't really say GG in that instance, I guess, but still, never heard it before. You should put in brackets behind that what it means, so that everybody knows what it means. Just to be ultra clear, okay? Very important. Okay. We all know grams. Oh. Maybe I need to, you know, maybe I need to look more into the language these young people use these days. Maybe I can learn a thing or two. Why? But why? Oh, okay, now I get it. I was asking, or I wanted to ask why you put the eggplant there, but I get it. Okay, you don't need to explain me that. I get it. I get it. Okay, I get it. Add a little forehead. And then we have the head. Now let's add some teeth. The hubris. Is that the hubris? No, the hubris is internally, right? Just a mental thing. Do you have sex? What? The seconds? Or is that another word that you're trying to troll me with? I know what it means, okay? You don't need to explain to me what it means. I know what it means. That's why I said I get it, okay? Your brain is melting. Are you a morning person, or are you an evening person, I guess, or a night owl? I'm more of a night owl. I get powered up at night, in the evening. Pretty weird, actually. I feel pretty tired. You know, for example, on the weekends. But then the later I guess it gets, the better I feel, which is pretty weird. But you know, I kind of got used to it. But it still feels kind of weird. It's always like, oh, I don't feel so good, or I feel kind of tired, but then it's always like a gamble whether or not it actually, you know, you feel better the later it gets. From 6 p.m. onwards, I get a lot of energy until like 4 in the morning, but I'm tired from work today. Yeah, it's the same with me. I always feel like I haven't gotten enough sleep on the weekends, which sometimes I have, but you know, usually it's okay, it's enough. And then I am tired all the way to the evening, and then at some point it's just like, whoa, I have so much more energy all of a sudden. It's so weird. And it's always like a gamble. Well, it's not really a gamble because I kind of, you know, you expect it, but it's also just like, well, am I really gonna get more energized the later it gets? But generally that's the case, at least for me. It's never like, oh, I thought I would be more energized, but then I wasn't, you know. If, then I would be super devastated in the morning. I don't think that's gonna be... I wonder if I can actually leave the Discord. I should kick you, and then I could join as a second account, Noggy2, and then I can be the 69th person. You know, without having to leave myself. I don't even know if the owner can leave. That's possible. Oh. If you leave the server, we'll have 68 people. Then if you join... Well, but can I leave as the owner? Because who's going to be the next owner? There isn't really going to be anyone. So which means there's a power vacuum. Which gets created because nobody can change who will be the next owner. I'm not going to test it, you know, but it's an interesting thought. You can pass the ownership to me. You know what? I think I'm gonna pass on that. For no reason. But just because. I trust you and all, but you know, sometimes some things just don't need to be a certain way, okay? Okay. There we have the mouth. It kind of looks like a it looks like a frog for some reason. Let's make this a little bit more skull-like. Oh, hello. Didn't want to pull your tooth. I just wanted to smooth it, I guess. Let me see. I'm curious what happens when you leave as an owner. Leave Discord server as owner. What happens if you leave a Discord server as the owner? You can leave a Discord server in just a few moments on both desktop and mobile. Once you leave a Discord server, you won't be able to send any messages in that server and won't receive any notification from it. If you're the only okay, if you're the owner of a Discord server, you'll need to transfer ownership before you can leave it. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that there's no power vacuum. There always has to be a strongest person on the server. Basically. Well, you know what I can do? I can just pass the ownership to the bot. How about that? Doesn't that sound like a good idea? The best way to destroy the server. Just pass it to the bot and then you'll never be able to get it back. Oh, you could actually give it back if you... Well, I don't know if you can make custom commands like that. Like transferring the ownership. Or I wonder if there's like an email process that you can do to get the ownership back. But there isn't really like you don't put your email in once you make a server. I'm not overthinking, okay? You're not gonna get ownership from me. I don't want to destroy my server, okay? It's the only one I have. Okay. Is it too small? I think it works. So let's add some more teeth here. Okay, looks kind of weird, but we're still working on it. You just have to sign on the dotted line. You know, I would probably rather keep my blood in my body, you know? So there's an artist, a music artist that I like to listen to, which whose server actually got nuked. I don't remember why, but He made a video like, hey, let's make a new server. I'm actually probably gonna watch that video again just to kind of maybe avoid that fate for our server. I don't really know what happens, but what happened. But you know, maybe it's a pretty obvious mistake that that he did, or I don't know what happens. Maybe he got like maybe people hackers or something managed to destroy his server. I don't know. But he needed to make a completely new one, which of course is pretty annoying. Yeah, I might look into that just to kind of do some preventative action. The only way a server can be nuked is if the owner gave someone else server permission that he shouldn't. Yeah. Most of the time new people join with the names pick of moderators on that server and PM the owner. Okay. Well, I set it up in a way where if you are a in like a moderator, all you can really do is change channel names, or I guess kick or ban someone. So there isn't really too much harm that can be done. You can't change any, permissions, for example, or other stuff. You at least can't nuke the server. I wonder if you can get banned by Discord if you get mass reported. Discord bot scripts that can be used to mass ban kick people. Yeah. Yeah, but then the server is still active, Then the server isn't nuked. So you wouldn't have to make a new one. I mean, once you have power, harm can always be done, But you probably wouldn't give that power to someone you don't trust. I guess he did, maybe, I don't know. Welcome back, Zachary. Greetings from Canada. Ooh. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the snow when it was there last time, I guess. Is it very snowy in Canada, or is that just a myth? Is it just as snowy as it is in, I don't know, America? We don't really have that much snow here in Europe. So, at least not as much as in America, for example. It was pretty snowy actually last year, which was pretty surprising. The good old leave. Hasn't snowed yet. Gonna go watch Cartoon Hell. Saw first episode and kind of got hooked. Cartoon Hell? Is that a series or a show? Yeah, it's definitely getting colder. Same here in Europe. Usually, actually, it's still pretty warm too. It's still pretty warm though, but it's getting darker earlier, which is annoying. But what can you do? I always hate when it's dark early. Actually, I like it more when you go like out, for example, go to the cinema or whatever, to the movie theater. I like driving home with on my bike home when it's dark. I don't know why, but I just like it. Probably just because there are no cars on the road then, and you can just, you know, drive on the road or however you want. But it's also just kind of like nice and quiet, and you can just chill, I guess, which is also nice, like a good bonus, I guess. Two cartoonists get suggestion from Twitter and try to create character story for it. Oh, okay. I know a different concept where they get a prompt, or they get a description of a character, and then they try to recreate it like a already made character. Then they try to create it or recreate it, and then they're gonna compare it to the original, which is also pretty fun. You watched it on a website with the skull and 2 bones? What? What website is that? Never heard of that website before. What websites are you? what websites are you? Well, on your free time. Never seen a website with a skull and bones. Maybe it's better if I stop talking to you. Couldn't you just, I don't know. If you said it was if it was a show, then I would maybe understand that you pirated a show, but what, like, that just sounds like a YouTube video. Like, where do you watch those videos? On the dark web? Okay, I think we're getting pretty close here. Of course, we can always add more detail, but that's not really the goal here. Well, it is, but I'm gonna do that off stream, because that is boring. Which is the perfect task to do off stream. There you go. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Let's combine with the rest of the Wraith. There it is. Boros Nogi? No, I won't. I will not. There you go. Okay, let's remove the head first. You like boring? I mean, you might be the only one then. Okay, let's remove the head first, and then we can put on the new one. Basically, like plastic surgery. There you go. There you go, perfect. It's on YouTube too, but only first episodes. College humor. I heard of that before, but I never... Wait, what happened? Wait, what? What? Oh. Yeah, I think I heard of